Hey Josh, hey Sean, this is Pat Contri. I just wanted to wish you a congratulations on 1 year of YouTube together doing the Variant Verdict where you cover gaming goodness and news, letting us know what's going on. Video games are supposed to be fun, and YouTube is supposed to be fun. Yes, you can make it a career, you can work hard, but don't count on becoming a millionaire off of YouTube. I didn't make a dime off YouTube for the first 3.5, 4 years, and I certainly was never close to a millionaire off YouTube. I'm not a millionaire. But remember, only do YouTube if it's fun. Yes, it's hard work, as you guys have learned. You got to look at the comments, you got to look at some of the trolls there, but remember, for every one troll, there's like 50 people that you're making smile, you're making their days better watching your stuff, and enjoying what you guys love, video games. So, again, congratulations, keep it going. Here's to many more years. Let's see if DK has any comment for you. DK, any comment? No comment for DK. Congratulations again.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. My name is Josh.
And I'm Sean.
If you guys are tuning into this video and we've earned your watch, give us a subscribe at the bottom of the page here.
Yes, and if you're here with us today, you will notice that this is actually about 1 year of the Variant News Source, or Variant Verdict, or however you want to put it. Yeah, and it's actually surprising that we've come this far already, where it's actually been a year. How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good about it. And one of the things is I feel like you guys don't really know a lot about me and Sean, so we figured we'd kind of tell you a little bit about what led up to doing 1 year's worth of content on YouTube from then to now.
Yeah.
So we'll start a little bit like, what was your experience in working on YouTube prior to like our...
Yeah,
listening?
I have a little bit of experience, if you want to call it that. About, like 10 years ago now, I actually tried my own hand at, actually trying to make a YouTube channel. I was a big, angry video game nerd, nostalgia critic fan, all that stuff. So watching them do it, it's like, I want to try it too. So
And what year was this?
I think 2009.
Okay.
And, I think I stopped in 10. So it's like 2009, 10. So it was not good. I needed, it was a solo thing. I didn't do well. So I stopped.
Okay, so we'll get back to his videos in a minute. The next thing I would say, as far as my only experience was, I was doing some work from meeting someone that I worked with at a prior job of employment. Me and him decided to do some work. He owned a big website, and I went to some conventions with him. We both collected comic books heavy, and he had a pretty big media web publication. So I started doing some stuff on YouTube with him. Where I did his interviews for the website. I did some writing on his website.
Who do you interview again?
Lou Ferrigno, Christian Kane, Walter Jones, the Black Ranger from Power Rangers, Walter Bell, the voice actor from Transformers, and a billion other things.
You did Joshua Seth too, but I think that was later on, right?
Yeah. So that was when I was doing work with them. They were a big comic book speculation website, so I won't say names, but there's not a terrible amount of them to choose from. And yeah, so I did some work with them, and then eventually I decided to kind of go with my own direction with it, which is Variant News Source as it is today, because I like the name from a Variant comic book, kind of like a Variant News Source, same stories, different covers, which is exactly what a Variant comic book was, or is. So I decided that was a cool name, because we're not doing anything different. We're not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah,
we're doing something everyone else is doing, just our own version of it.
And when you were doing all this, you were doing this with Jack. If you remember from our earlier videos, a little bit top 90s, Star Wars, all those, he's in there with us too. Yeah, you initially started it with his help.
Yeah, when I launched the website, Jack was starting school. He was taking a few classes at the time to just learn computer stuff. So he was doing all the back end stuff at the start of the launch of the website. Because before it was a YouTube channel, it was just a URL.
Yeah.
Where I did a lot of writing. I did interviews. I interviewed Ralph Garman, people from Clerks.
And that's when you did Joshua Seth and everything, right?
Yeah, so that's when I had the chance to meet Joshua Seth. We did some traveling. We went to a bunch of conventions together. I met Billy Mitchell, Greg Sestero, from the writer of The Disaster Artist and From the Room, and Ming Chen from Comic Book Man. That's actually... the funny thing is about the Ming Chen thing is I'll show I interviewed him with the comic book site. So this was actually my first time interviewing him as a solo entity, like attached to my own name.
Yeah.
And attached to my own website, which was cool. And then I got to he was obviously on the channel later on. You'll notice that kind of similarities, that if I've worked with a lot of the people before, that we got to do like bumpers on our channel.
Yeah, no, which is awesome.
So that was really cool.
Yeah, so you guys make the website, and then we end up working together.
Yeah, so we worked at the same place, coincidentally, that I worked with the other person, Jack, from the other videos like we were just talking about. And that's where I met Sean. And I remember Jack saying, when we lived together, briefly, he goes, you just check out Sean's videos. He has his own channel.
Which, looking back on it, I'm surprised I even told him about him.
And if you're watching this, Jack, I'm not sure if that was a subtle way of saying that you were taking more classes and you couldn't do it yourself. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's what basically ended up happening. He took more classes. He had less time for it. And I approached Sean with the idea of doing the same kind of YouTube content, but maybe a little bit deeper, because at the time I was starting to really get into like my own Angry Video Game Nerd and Cinemassacre.
Well,
and all that stuff.
your idea was the Variant Verdict.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you would come up with the Variant Verdict.
We both had like a very similar passion for film.
Yeah, so I mean, you may be like I said, you're a little more intense on the movie side, maybe a little more intense about video games all in general, but works. It's a good balance.
At one point, we were actually passing scripts to each other, like fully written segments, especially the top 10 90s comedies video.
Yeah, that took a long time.
Yeah, that one, I think that one was probably the most writing we ever did, because we where most people come up with the top 10, I guess like half-ass or quickly to get it posted. We actually like debated.
We did like a little round table debate and had to like decide and arguments.
So all of those are like literally handwritten scripts that you see in those segments. Fast forward, when we started doing movies, we were doing some on location stuff. At first, when we went to see like Joker I think that was our 6th episode.
Yeah, we tried, but because it was a big thing surrounding the release of Joker, so like having police outside.
Yeah, and we I think at the time we thought it was just like a better idea to get footage like while we were going to like a premiere of the movie. This movie was huge like when it came out, so it was cool to like we're doing it from the night it comes out. Cops were there, for obvious reasons. But no, we didn't end up going that direction, as you guys know. Which we might eventually do something like that again in the future.
Yeah, who knows?
It just didn't seem like a format that worked for us, especially with what we're working with. We're just, working with what we got. Yeah. So from there, we branched off from doing movies, obviously.
Oh, don't forget about Joker. That was actually, I guess, better explain, right in the very beginning, I guess one of the things I was bringing to the show initially was the editing. You didn't really know anything that much about editing.
Speaking of, like, when I approached Sean about his show, that was basically one of the selling points, is I knew that he had done pretty good, like, voiceover stuff in his previous videos. His videos aren't that bad. Don't let him tell you otherwise. But, yeah, so that was a big reason I approached Sean, because he actually knew a lot about the editing and the sound stuff.
Yeah, so, like, up until Joker, I was really just doing it all, and then Joker was when you finally sat down and you saw, and I like taught you, and you watched and learned about how to make one of these episodes. So now it's gotten to the point where you just do the verdicts and I do the variant plays.
Yeah.
So it's
and it's worked out where he's done some verdicts when need be, and I've done some. We can both do everything.
And we're self-taught. That's another thing. I didn't go to school for it. I didn't do anything. Back when I did my initial show, I literally just taught myself how to do it. So it was the only way I knew how.
Yeah, so, and like I said, we both have had to like interchange whenever it's called for it to do the other. But
yeah,
so we can both do any type of video now. But it works out the way it works out pretty well because of our schedule.
Yeah.
Anyways, so when we ended up getting off of movies, we ended up trying to do like an event review.
Yeah.
The closest thing that you could think of before that was when we did Comic-Con, the top 5 things that happened that year.
Which we weren't there.
That video goes on like absurdly long.
Yeah, like that one was probably.
It plays like clips of the trailers, and it's just terribly edited. But that was me who edited that one. So to give you an idea, like what I was doing then. Yeah, so then when we said let's do an event, we did FREEPLAY, and that one was like a combination of, and it's still our most viewed video. It's a combination of like my cell phone, 2 different camcorders,
yeah,
Sean's cell phone, like literally anything that could hold media got wiped and like put into that video.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be one of our best. And that was like a huge success for me. You got to meet Keith Apicary or Nathan Barnett.
Yeah.
And then obviously we interviewed Billy a second time, but this time
Hey,
Sean got to meet him.
I got to meet James Rolfe after watching him since his third video.
And that was one of the best things. Like I knew that after that show we had to do more live shows. Like, so we had that planned, and we'll get to that in a minute. So we ended up, and like Sean was saying, he's like the more of the video gaming side. We've been talking about like what's a good capture card to get, what's like the best way to stream, blah blah blah. And we ended up at the beginning of the year, like around January, just going to the store and we bought like a really good one from Best Buy.
Did a little
We
research.
never looked back.
With what we had, we don't have supercomputers or like anything crazy, so it's we had to work with what we had. But no, we got VariantPlays started, and if you remember, if anyone knows, been keeping track, we used to pump them out really fast. Like it was like 2 Let's Plays and then a verdict a week, and then we decided, just.
I think we were just like addicted to seeing something that wasn't just us all the time. We were like, oh, this is a new type of video, so we went crazy with that, and they're fun. So that'll like never go away. We've gotten into like a really good rhythm with the VariantPlays.
Yeah.
So those are always fun. And then we did Retro Gaming Landmarks, which we knew that was going to be like a bigger affair because we actually had to go in and get the permission and all that. The way we did it before was like if you're handing off a GoPro and getting footage and then assembling it, that's the difference between where we get to when we get to glitch, because there's such a huge distance between that and that video.
Yeah.
One's like the beginning of this channel, one's like the end of this year. And you can see how when we first started, it was kind of like we carried a GoPro. We snuck the footage, we put it together, and we were like, let's talk about this place. And we lined up the arcades, all that. Then we were like, no, let's fucking go there next time.
Yeah.
Let's walk around and see these arcades. Let's like do that. And that was like always our intention with Silverball. I just think we were a little bit more modest. We had so much less content on the internet, and it was just easier for us to just go in, like fucking play the place, and have a good time,
face it, at the same time, who are we? Like, we're nobodies.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm happy to say that in our first year we have broken 100 subs, which is harder to get than most people don't realize. But like, who are we just to like walk in? So getting that opportunity at like Glitch and stuff, it was very nice.
So from Retro Gaming Landmarks, it's like as you barrel through those next few months, you get all those great cameos we were able to get, like the guys we love on Cinemassacre, people from Clerks that I interviewed before for the Clerks retrospective, which was just such a different video for us.
Yeah.
We did like acting and stuff. It was fun, and we did like the black and white stuff.
Yeah.
From there, we get to like where COVID kind of kicks in, and when that happened. Remember we were just talking about how like we love the live event stuff. I had set up press for me and Sean to do Florida SuperCon in Fort Lauderdale, and then to go to the other end of Florida for.
We had like Pensacon, MegaCon, SuperCon.
Yeah, like literally like the whole state. Like they invited us out to do the show, and we were like, okay, we'll go, and then COVID happened, and it was like, just kidding, we're canceled. Just kidding, we're canceled. Just kidding, we're canceled. Everything's like, oh, we'll see you in 2021. So that went to hell, but. We still, as we got through that, what was like the end? Where did we go from like the COVID stuff, like over the summer?
Well,
like,
unfortunately, with no theaters, like all of them being closed, no events happening, you can't even go into a crowded area. We had to turn to like video on demand, VOD stuff, and that's why if you notice over the past couple of months, we may not have the most exciting titles. But it's pretty much, that's why, is because we're very limited on what we can do. So, I mean, do you think, honestly, that with everything coming out theater-wise, that You Should Have Left would have been one of our verdicts?
Or Bloodshot, or Invisible
Well, who
Man
knows
was
Bloodshot? Because we've always stuck with the comic stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like
fair.
We don't stop at anything.
All that
Star
stuff
Wars,
is just because
Marvel.
we couldn't go to theaters, like you said. So we made do with like what was going straight to demand.
Yeah.
When you're working to make content for 365 days a year and like 2 to 3 videos a week, that's a lot of videos. So you inevitably end up with stuff that never even gets to see the light of the day. And like one of the things we recorded was an entire, remember the whole Midsummer?
Yeah, we did a whole Midsummer.
We shot for.
There was one time we tried shooting in It 2, but it was like cursed. Like the camera kept
Yeah,
shutting
we saw the
off,
movie on the night
mic
of the
didn't-
premiere. Came back, we're like, let's do this shit.
And
And like, everything was like dying
went-
on us.
everything
My cat
went
chewed through the
wrong.
wire. I think that night.
Yeah, like everything went wrong. So it was just one of those things where it was like wave the white flag. It's like I'm done.
So it's funny to look back on that. Like, there's a lot of, if we wanted to comb the editor, there would be a ton of footage that we have never like even shaped into a video or did anything with.
Yeah.
Um,
But hey, that'll happen because I mean, that's one thing is that like we may have made stuff that we didn't come out with, but we also have ideas for stuff that we do still want to do. Like the Final Fantasy video that I did was for 7, the verdict. I enjoyed that, and I actually really liked that video to where like obviously quicker ones, but I'm gonna probably be doing more new game reviews. Like I want to do that. Like I should be coming out with The Last of Us, little snippet of my thoughts of that soon. So
yeah, and like I like to do stuff like that as far as the future of the channel goes. Like the other day, I just posted a video about The Watchmen. Like we just want to be able to make stuff that we find entertaining. So that's why if you don't see like that Midsummer, it's probably because we watched it. We were just like not convinced that you guys would even find it.
Well,
entertaining. And we have a low bar, guys. So the point we're trying to say is like there's a reason we just didn't bother with it because we know we could do better
And
or
also,
talk more about it.
we are just having fun.
Exactly.
We're not like, we're not sitting here going like, oh, we're gonna make so much money off of this. Like, I mean, we 1 year, little over.
Yeah, and there's days where you have to record because you've had a busy week and you got things going on, and then you finally do record and it just doesn't work out. So
Yeah.
you have to figure out what to do with that footage, or do you re-record, or you just wait till the next week and double down, which we've had to do that too.
Yeah, no, we've
We've been
definitely
in
had
interesting
to.
scenarios.
No, we
and we
have.
thank you guys so much for being a part of it and listen to us blab about our first year as a channel.
Yeah, so, anyone who's, maybe starting a channel or has the idea of doing it, after a year, the best recommendations I can give you are do it for fun. Do it because you like it to do it. Don't do it like you feel like you have to. That's really the biggest part of it. And don't listen to the haters. Like,
Yeah, I think the whole thing with being a channel, like the secret to success is to not worry about the success and just literally do it because you enjoy it. Like, you have to enjoy video games or music or movies or whatever it is you're doing a channel about. Me and Sean love our games. Me and him love our movies. Like, when this camera's turned off, that's probably what we're talking about anyways. So it's not just indifferent for us to do this. It's always a good time.
It absolutely is. So, yeah, again, so thank you very much for, if you're subscribed, thank you for your support. Maybe you're going to see what this next year will bring us. So, year 2.
Exactly. Like, comment, share, and
Subscribe
to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you guys for watching.
Utah, give it 2.